Dominik Mysterio says he won't add new members to the Judgment Day, but on one condition. WWE superstar Dominik Mysterio has stirred up speculation about potential changes within the Judgment Day by seemingly issuing an ultimatum to fellow faction member JD McDonagh. In a recent exchange, Dominik hinted at the possibility of adding new members to the dominant stable, prompting a strong reaction from JD. Earlier this year, JD McDonagh suffered an unfortunate injury during a match on WWE Raw, forcing him to take a hiatus from in-ring action. His absence has left a void in the Judgment Day, a faction known for its ruthless dominance on WWE programming. While JD remains on the sidelines recovering, his presence in the group remains a topic of discussion. Recently, JD took to social media to send a clear message to Dominik Mysterio. He urged him to refrain from recruiting new members into the Judgment Day while he was away. The Irish ace made it clear that he wanted to retain his spot in the faction and was against any expansion in his absence. However, Dominik, also known as Dirty Dom, wasted no time responding to his fellow stablemate. In a bold statement, he issued an ultimatum to JD, suggesting that if he wanted to prevent new members from joining, he needed to return as soon as possible. This comment has fueled speculation about Dominik's true intentions and whether he is seriously considering expanding the Judgment Day's ranks while JD is out of action. The Judgment Day has been one of WWE's most dominant factions in recent years, with members including Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest holding significant influence on both Raw and SmackDown. The group's dynamic has evolved over time, and JD McDonagh's inclusion in 2023 added another layer of intrigue. However, with his current absence, questions remain about his long-term position within the stable. Dominik's statement raises an interesting dilemma. Is he truly looking to add new members, or is he simply pushing JD to return sooner rather than later? Given the group's history of power struggles and internal conflicts, it wouldn't be surprising if Dominik is testing JD's loyalty and commitment to the Judgment Day. Fans have already begun speculating on who could potentially join the faction if Dominik were to follow through with his statement. Several rising WWE superstars could fit the faction's dark and dominant aesthetic, and any new addition could shift the power dynamics within the group. JD McDonagh's response, or lack thereof, could determine his fate within the Judgment Day. If he fails to return soon, Dominik may make good on his word and introduce a new member, changing the faction structure and possibly creating new rivalries. As JD continues his road to recovery, all eyes are on Dominik Mysterio and his next move. Will he stay true to his threat and expand the Judgment Day, or is this merely a mind game to motivate JD's return? The WWE Universe will be watching closely as this storyline unfolds. JD McDonagh opens up about his injury on Raw and his determination to stay in the Judgment Day. JD McDonagh, a rising star in WWE and a key member of the Judgment Day, recently opened up about the injury he suffered during a high-stakes match on Raw. Speaking candidly on the Insight podcast with Chris Van Vliet, McDonagh recalled the intense moment when he believed he had cracked his ribs and how he battled through the injury to continue in the match. The injury moment. It was a night full of anticipation, with WWE fans tuning in to watch a highly anticipated showdown. McDonagh, alongside his Judgment Day teammates, was involved in a brutal match for the tag team titles against the War Raiders. The atmosphere was electric, with the added excitement of the first few weeks of the group's Netflix debut, and the spotlight was on them as they battled for supremacy. However, things took an unexpected turn for McDonagh when he took a devastating blow. "I thought it was maybe cracked ribs," McDonagh explained. "I could feel my ribs on this side were like Rice Krispies under my skin. They're definitely messed up. I couldn't get a full lung full of air, but I just thought that was because I was winded from hitting the table." The physical impact of the table spot left McDonagh in excruciating pain, but his commitment to the match and his teammates pushed him to continue. Despite the pain, McDonagh fought through the agony, convinced that the adrenaline would help him recover and finish the match strong. Adrenaline and mental resilience. In true wrestling fashion, the adrenaline rush took over as McDonagh battled to stay in the match. Then the adrenaline kicked in, and I was okay. I can do this. I can get back in there and do my part in the match, he said. McDonagh's determination to stay in the ring came from a deep sense of responsibility, not only to himself, but also to his teammates in the Judgment Day. "I didn't want to leave the guys, especially because it was one of the first few weeks that we were on Netflix," McDonagh explained, underscoring the significance of the moment. "Everyone's excited about it. Huge audience watching you for the tag team titles. War Raiders' first defense. Yeah, I didn't want to quit. If I can stand up and keep participating, then I'm gonna..." McDonagh's dedication to the Judgment Day and the match itself was evident in his words, showcasing his commitment to putting on a great show for WWE fans, even at the expense of his own well-being. Facing the consequences, despite his grit and determination to finish the match, McDonagh soon realized the severity of the injury. The inability to fully breathe and the constant pain for his ribs reminded him that pushing through the injury might come with consequences. As a professional wrestler, McDonagh is no stranger to physical pain, but this injury seemed more serious than he initially believed. Though McDonagh didn't want to let down his fellow teammates, he eventually had to come to terms with the fact that continuing to wrestle while injured could worsen the situation. Despite his resolve to push through, McDonagh expressed concern about the prospect of being sidelined and the implications this could have for his future with the Judgment Day. The fear of falling behind. One of McDonagh's biggest concerns is the potential for new faces to enter the Judgment Day during his recovery. With his injury putting him on the sidelines, McDonagh expresses worries about the possibility of his spot being taken by someone else, further adding to the pressure he feels as he recovers. "The last thing I want is to see new people enter the Judgment Day while I'm out with an injury," McDonagh admitted. For McDonagh, the Judgment Day represents not only a group of fellow wrestlers, but a significant opportunity for career growth. His fear of being replaced stems from his deep connection to faction and his desire to prove himself as an integral part of the team. With the group rapidly gaining popularity, especially with the added spotlight from Netflix, McDonagh's presence within the faction is more important than ever. As the Judgment Day grows in prominence, McDonagh is undoubtedly aware that his absence could leave room for new alliances and member dynamics to form. With Dominik Mysterio already being involved in several storylines and rumors of potential new members floating around, McDonagh's return to the ring becomes increasingly crucial, and his desire to prove himself as an integral part of the team. With the group rapidly gaining popularity, especially with the added spotlight from Netflix, McDonagh's presence within the faction is more important than ever. As the Judgment Day grows in prominence, McDonagh is undoubtedly aware that his absence could leave room for new alliances and member dynamics to form. With Dominik Mysterio already being involved in several storylines and rumors of potential new members floating around, McDonagh's return to the ring becomes increasingly crucial,